Hello, hello, hello. What is up, everybody? I am back. Been gone for a couple weeks. Excited to be back. Excited to be with everybody. So we are going to be doing our Show Sho Nuff Divided Season 3, Week 15 NFL recap show. So with what's going on here? I'll bring on the co-hosts of the show with me. Needs no introduction. The man who filled in for us while I was gone last week, Bryan. How's it going, Bryan?
It's going real good. Going real good.
And then, as much as she bothers us, we still keep her around. She talks about the Chiefs nonstop. But it's all in good fun. So we will bring her back. We decided to bring her back again for this episode. Teisha, how's it going?
It's great over here on my end. Absolutely.
Alrighty, so we'll run the intro video and then we will get into our Week 15 recap. Alrighty, guys. So before we do that, how's everyone doing? What's new and exciting? It's been a while since I've seen you guys. How's everyone?
Hanging in there. I'm doing well.
Tank season is upon us. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Tank season is upon us. So
I'll make you a T-shirt that says that.
Yeah, hey, it's all good. It's all gravy over here.
Right on. Okay, so big news in the news we will be talking about this week. Kansas City gives the Browns the blues. 21-7 was the final in that game. Teisha, what did you think of that game?
Oh my gosh, what did I think? I was ecstatic. It was just really nice to see us finally actually execute and play really, really, really clean and good football. Here, you kidding me? I was happy. I'm still happy about it. It was awesome. In fact, I'll tell you really quick. I had a friend of mine text me, and he said, "Well, it's nice to see that the Chiefs didn't have to rely on the refs this game." And I said, "Heck no, they wanted a bye week. Everybody gets at least one bye week. I mean, we'll catch up with them this week. Saturday's coming. We're good."
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. It was a really good game. 22 minutes, first interception. And that was beautiful. Did you guys see what he said about how that happened? That he looked at the Jumbotron. He looked at the Jumbotron and saw that he was launching it. And he said, "I just knew I had to get there." And it was beautiful. So.
Nice.
It was great. I was like, all right, that's resourceful. I like it. Yeah.
Are you concerned at all about Patrick Mahomes? I know he was full participant in practice this week, but they're playing Saturday, they're playing Wednesday. Like it's gonna be a lot on him.
Yeah, I mean that dude's tough as heck, though. I mean, I have seen him play injured so many times and get mad because he can't go back on the field. I mean, he's got the heart for it. I personally wouldn't mind if they set him this one. I'd rather him play, in the next one, but I don't know that he'll allow that. I feel like if I saw or heard somebody say earlier, if the doctor clears him, he's going to be on the field regardless. So Andy said he'll fight me for it. If Andy said I can't tell him no, he'll fight me over it. And I was like, well, don't tell him no. I mean, let's go. But yeah, it's always concerning, how bad the injury or but it is concerning, for sure.
Yeah, this is the second week in a row, really, that he's had something, right? Like hobbled, that has hobbled him. And I mean, the way that he was walking on that, I am shocked that he's practicing today, just by the way that he was like hamming it up to how bad it hurt. You know, I mean, to me, it looked like it was a real painful injury, and just for him to be a full practice today is pretty crazy. Kind of shows, you know, either he's got just a ton of, you know, intestinal fortitude, he can get it, you know, he brings it out, you know, he can just play, you know, or he hams it up on game day a little bit, you know, like when it happens. I don't know, but probably a little bit of both. I will say that
this is like the third year in a row where Mahomes has an ankle injury like 2 weeks before the end of the season, and you know, maybe there is something to the him hamming it up a little bit just for the show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I will say this was probably their more dominant win, even though they only scored 21. This was their more dominant win that they've had pretty much of the season. And
it was finally they didn't win by one score or less.
Yeah. There's I might have said it last week, Ben, you didn't hear me, but there is only 4 teams that have not scored 30 points in the NFL this year. And can you guess the 4 teams? Because 3 of them are our teams, like within our group.
So and Jacksonville is definitely Jacksonville is one of them. No,
mm-hmm.
Really? So the Raiders. I guess if it's between the 3 of us, that means the Chiefs, because I know the Bills have definitely done it.
Yeah, the Chiefs.
That's actually crazy that they haven't scored 30.
Leslie hasn't been able to get on as much, but the Patriots are one of the other ones, and then of course the Giants. But the Chiefs at 13-1 are in that same group with the Patriots, Raiders, and Giants of not scoring 30 as the only 4 teams. Like, it's wild, you know. It's wild to me that they are where they are, and even after a 21-7 win, I still think that they are. That it's all false. It's all false, but that's what they want you to believe. They want you to believe. Everyone else has great teams that you could put as number 1 in the league. You know, right now the Bills look fantastic, and watch the Chiefs will get in the playoffs, and somehow they'll just weasel their way to the Super Bowl and then play the best game they played all season. That's how.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like we said that too in the preseason shows. We're like, they're just going to, like, you know, just kind of get through the regular season because they don't really care. You know, Kelsey's a little bit older. You don't want to get anybody injured in the regular season because they're just built to win, and that's their main goal. Is obviously is the playoffs, and that's kind of what they're aiming for. I think 13-1 is better than what they could have predicted. This little, you know, taking it easy through the regular season could have gone, but that's definitely how it looks.
Yep, I agree.
You just paid more for the script. You guys don't hate.
Well, whatever the script is, the Bills need to. If you can pay for the script, the Bills need to triple down on that price there and make sure that it happens this year.
Speaking
That's the
of
only one. I'm afraid.
Somebody said something funny to me the other day, and I was going to bring it up when we talked about if anybody brought the script up. So they were like, so if everything is scripted, do they go up to Nick Chubb and say, "Hey man, it's time. It's time, buddy. You got to break your foot, man. We got to break a limb. It's time. Sorry." Like, I mean, because
Garrett's eye out.
it's like this is how it's going to happen. All right, you just got to prepare yourself. You'll be fine. We'll get you the best medical treatment. You'll be back.
Yeah, I hate to draw the short straw that week. That's for sure.
Anyway, so speaking of Bills, we talked about them. It's your Bills took care of the Lions, man. They took care of business.
Yeah,
sure looked like a good game. I'd still think that's the Super Bowl, and I think we'll see it again.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for the Lions to get to the Super Bowl. They've obviously got lots of injuries that they're going to be dealing with. Have you seen the amount of teams that have players on IR, like the number of players per team on IR? Like,
I haven't seen it total, but I know the Lions are.
The Bills are technically like tied for like the healthiest team. They only have like 3 or 4 players on IR. The Detroit Lions have 21 players on IR right now.
Yeah,
and
I think they had like 17 or 18 before that game.
Yeah,
I think they lost like 3 or 4 in that game alone.
And as much as as much as you want to believe in Dan Campbell and how he presents that tough guy attitude and next man up and we're going to get knocked down and bite off another kneecap kind of speeches that he gives, like eventually talent matters and like the guys that you have on the field matter. And I don't know. I also think the Eagles are playing phenomenal right now too. So it's going to be tough to get out of the NFC for Detroit for sure.
Yeah, and they've it's crazy. They've had a lot of these injuries for weeks now, and for whatever reason, and a lot of it is on defense, quite a bit of it's on defense. And for whatever reason, they just continue to play well. Now, granted, they gave up 48 points to the Bills, so I mean their backups aren't playing that well. But in the previous games, their defenses still played fairly well, with the backups in the game. So I mean, I do hear what you're saying though. I mean, if those guys are on IR and they've 21 and a lot of them aren't coming back or a lot of them won't come back for the playoffs, then it's going to be tough. I mean, it's going to be real tough for them. I think losing David Montgomery, I don't care how good Gibbs is, losing David Montgomery is going to be a massive.
It's massive.
It's massive, yeah. Gibbs is a great runner.
And I think we're forgetting that like Aiden Hutchinson is one of the best pass rushers in the league, and he hasn't been there, all season. I think he said he's going to try and come back for a Super Bowl if they make it to the Super Bowl, but like, that's it's not like, they're not missing their backup quarterback or their second string corner. Like these are stud players on their team that they're missing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No, but as far as the game goes, I thought it was great by the Bills. I thought they had a very good game plan to kind of beat them, and Josh Allen is doing Josh Allen type things, and they kind of came back on us. At one point we were up by like 2 or 3 scores, and they kind of made the comeback and kind of made it look a little bit closer. But I mean, at the end of the day, the Bills are playing really, really good football right now. And even though we lost to the Rams, that kind of a performance, you'll win more games than you'll lose. The one that they had against the Rams, and I think, I think we just keep going. We're just going to keep rolling. It's hard to, you said it's hard to score points on the Detroit Lions, but we put up 48. It's, it's tough to, do whatever against Kansas City. We put up 30 against them, and I just think our offense is kind of, clicking, and it's, we lost our targets, our star players, but it's more of a team. It feels like this season. And it's kind of just everybody playing for everybody, and I think we're going to be a very, very tough out come playoff time.
I think you're right. And a lot of that. I mean, Teisha probably would not agree with that because.
No, I agree. Unfortunately, write that down. Save the date.
You could put me up there with all of them that did not believe in the Bills because I thought what they lost was going to be too much. And honestly, in the back of my mind, I was sitting here thinking Joe Brady's better than that. Like I know him with a quarterback like Josh Allen, he's going to make it work because Joe Brady was amazing. Like at just calling plays in general. So I mean, a lot of what Josh Allen's doing is obviously him, but a lot of it is, Brady putting him in the right spot to be successful. So
100%. I don't see Brady sticking around as an offensive coordinator for very long. I think he's top of the list of teams that are looking for a head coach. I think he'll be the first interview for lots of teams.
Yep, I agree. And depending on what y'all do this year, I mean, he may only have him for 1 year. He may only have him this year.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if y'all go out and win a Super Bowl, he gone, man. Somebody getting him, as a head coach. But if y'all get close but don't make it, he might come back because he wants to prove it. That Bills can win a Super Bowl. So
yeah, hopefully, if it's a catastrophic end to the season for the Bills, I can see a scenario in which McDermott isn't returning as a head coach, and then maybe Brady gets a promotion that way to head coach, and stay. I hope he stays on the team. But barring something like that, I don't see him staying on the team past this year.
Yeah,
it'll be tough on Allen too, because this will be his fourth offensive coordinator in the past 5 seasons. We went Daboll, then we had Ken Dorsey, now we have Joe Brady, and then we'll be whoever has to fill in for once Brady leaves. So it'll be tough for sure. So do you want to talk about the Jags, Bryan? You got anything you want to talk about?
Listen,
Aaron Rodgers whooping you guys.
We can talk about them all that you want. Okay. Look, I didn't, they did what I expected them to do. They played actually not terrible. At least they stuck with him. Even with Mac Jones, they played fairly well. But in the end, they, if you're going to tank, you got to go all in, but you don't want to make it look that way. You don't want to be you don't want to lose, like we did a couple weeks ago, 50-something to 3 or whatever the heck that was, like that. Nobody wants to lose that way. So if you're going to lose, you might as well lose with a little dignity. And unfortunately, they let Aaron Rodgers, who hasn't played well all year, beat him. So that was frustrating. I hate losing, so I joke. It helps me to joke about it because deep down inside, I'm like, oh, great, another one, another loss. Yay.
Well, really quick, I'll say this. I feel bad. I really do. Not that you lost, but that you paid money for that jersey.
Oh. Well, I've got quite a few of them. Thank you very much.
It's beautiful.
So what are your guys' chances of getting the first overall pick? You got to be in contention, right?
Yeah, we're in contention. I don't think that we are. There's a couple teams that are worse than us right now, and so
how many wins do you guys have?
We have 3 wins right now.
Oh, okay. So I know because I know the Giants and the Raiders only have 2.
Yeah, Giants and Raiders have 2. So unless they just fumble into a victory. The thing is that the Panthers, the Browns, the Patriots, and the Titans and Jaguars all have 3 wins. So at some point, some of those teams have to win, right? Like they just have to.
Yeah.
And so hopefully, there's no telling, what they're thinking, because obviously I feel like Doug is Mr. Peterson is has to be playing for his job, But I mean,
oh yeah. I'm surprised he made it this far, to be honest.
Right. So I mean, it maybe if the writing's on the wall, maybe he doesn't care, and they're like, hey, we want you to lose. You're not going to be around anyway. They wouldn't tell him that, but maybe that's what they're thinking,
Yeah, maybe they're just like, hey, finish off the rest of the season, get us a good of a draft pick as you can, and we'll part ways in the off season. I mean, it's never easy to switch coaches in the middle of a season. That's obviously not ideal. You want to have someone who can, implement a full offense in the off season kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, next up we have, I guess we can clown on the Raiders a little bit without Willie here, because they lost to Atlanta. And if we want to talk about underachievers, I think Atlanta is kind of up there on that list, and they've been underperforming, but they I mean, it was only 15 points, but it didn't look that good from a Raiders perspective.
Right. Yeah, no, the Raiders just look bad right now. I mean, right now they lost to a team that the Falcons won the game and decided to bench Kirk Cousins because of how bad he was playing. And they still lost to that team. I don't know very many teams that win a game and the quarterback gets benched the next game.
Benched.
So, I mean, that's how bad. Yeah, that's how bad that the Raiders are at this point. And if Willie's watching, sorry, not sorry, because you're in the misery with me, and I don't care. Like, loss. Y'all suck.
Yeah,
y'all suck. You're terrible.
I mean, going into the season, I don't think we thought that the Raiders would be the worst team out of everyone here. I think we thought the Patriots would be way worse. But that doesn't. It seems to be like the Raiders are the worst team out of the five of us.
Currently, right now, yeah. I mean, if they get a win somewhere, then they'll be tied with us. So technically, we'll be all about the same. But yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. As far as just looking at the product on the field, at least the Patriots have Drake May, and I think he's going to be a good player. Like, they just need to get pieces around him. So, like, I think that's why they're a little bit ahead of the Raiders at this point, Like, the Raiders, I mean, yeah, they've got injuries to all their quarterbacks, and they're playing Desmond Ridder, and they're going to try to tank, I assume, for Shador. But at this point, the Giants are beating them in that because Giants want Shador, They want it. So, yeah.
If you guys had first overall pick, who would you take? Would you go Travis Hunter? Would we get Genty, or what do you think?
You talk about for like the Jaguars or
Jaguars? Yeah.
Like if we had the one, I would say it would probably be Travis Hunter. They're not going to go after quarterback just because a quarterback's there, right? They're just not going to do it because they paid Trevor Lawrence too much money. So I think they would go after either they would trade back if they had the number one and try to get some pieces, or they just go after Travis Hunter, like at that point, because it just depends. I mean, because they kind of need offensive line. They need another lineman again. They need some interior defensive help. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff they could get probably later in the rounds that they wouldn't waste the number one pick on. So if they're not going to go after Travis Hunter, then I think they just trade back, in my opinion. But
you're the college football guru. Do you think Travis Hunter is better? Like, do you think there's a chance he plays both ways in the NFL, or if not, which side should he be playing on? Is he better as a DB or is he better as a wide receiver?
Yeah, so I actually talked about this with a couple of my friends the other day, and everyone had a difference of opinion on it, which is interesting. And I think that he's better suited as – this is what I think. I think he's better suited to play the defensive side of the ball. And then if you do that, every now and then maybe you have packages where he comes in and plays a few plays on offense here and there as receiver, because you're not going to have a wide receiver play a few packages on the defense. It's just I don't feel like it's going to go that direction. So I feel like a team would draft him and place him as a full-time corner. You're going to play corner for full time. But every now and then we're going to have a four wide, 5 wide package. You're going to be in there, and you're going to be in the slot, and we're going to play you this way, that way, or whatever. Like, I do think he plays both ways in the NFL. I just don't think it's going to be near the snap count that we got.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But
you're not going to be able to go from covering. What do you think, Teisha?
No, I think he's spot on with that, honestly. He's a beast. Come on. They don't make him any finer than that in the football world. So I'm just excited to see how it happens, how it goes down, where he goes. I hope he does go. He gets to shine, though. Sometimes, going to those first round pick teams, you can kind of fade out if you don't have the talent to show your talent. So hopefully he'll go somewhere and he'll just keep balling out like he is. He's an outstanding gentleman and a good football player. So
yeah. Do you think they got the Heisman? Do you think they got the Heisman Trophy right?
Oh,
I do.
No, I don't think they did. I don't. But I was also a Janty fan, and I kind of was on his side the entire season, so I wasn't going to switch up at the end.
Yeah.
You know, he definitely deserves it. I will never say he doesn't deserve it because he did something in college that is at his level has never been done. You know, at the amount of times that he was on the field. So, and not only just playing the plays, but he made plays on both sides of the ball. So it wasn't like he was just out there, you know, doing nothing. So
yeah,
I think he definitely deserved to win it. I feel real bad for Ashton Jeanty just because he did something that hasn't been done since the 80s, you know. And any other year he wins, right? Like because the last running back Heisman had like 1,400 yards rushing, and that was it. And he had like 2,400. He beat that by 1,000. You know, and people ask him, they've asked him in interviews, you know, why do you think you should win? You know, you play against lesser opponents than, you know, say the SEC, the ACC, Big Ten, all that. And he said, why hasn't anybody else done it?
Exactly.
At any other school.
Exactly.
You know, like in all these years since the 80s, you don't see another running back running for 2,400 yards anywhere. So I 100% wanted him to win. And it was really close. So, I mean, at least it was super close. And there's people out there that wanted them to win too, even voters. So, but Travis Hunter won, and it is what it is. Hey, we got something we hadn't got, and it's not a quarterback. That's great.
Alrighty, Bryan, you want to do the? Should we do the notes from around the league, or do we want to hop into our favorite segment?
Oh, you know, we got to hop into our favorite segment. You ready for it?
Oh, no, you big dummy. You dummy. You big dummy. 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 Get lost, dummy.
Gotta love that. Gotta love that. So let me go first because I think you probably stole mine, Ben. So I just want to get it in there before you. So my big dummy goes to two players. Jordan Battle of the Cincinnati Bengals and Jonathan Taylor of the Colts. How dare y'all being such great players in the NFL that even to this day, you don't understand how to hold the ball long enough to get across the goal line. And you still, both of them dropped it before the goal line, and it was a touchback to the other team. Like, there's nothing worse than that.
I'll never understand that. Like, why do you need to celebrate so early? Wait two more steps, and then you can do all the celebrating you need.
What's the point of doing it beforehand? Like, hell, hold on to that ball till you get to the end of the goal, like in the back of the end zone, you know, then do your
hand the ball off to the referee in the end zone so that you know that it counts as a touchdown, and then celebrate.
See, every person, their celebration should include the football. Then you would never have to worry about it. You wouldn't drop it, because then it's like every single celebration includes the football. It means you have to hold on to that throughout the entire process, right? It's unbelievable how many players do this, and I bet you before replay it happened a lot more, and they never caught it. They just let it go, you know. But now that there's replay, it's like you can't do it, you know. And I've seen some stupid people out there that said they should change the rule if there's no one around them. Then
I saw that
line,
too.
it doesn't matter. Like, it's a touchdown. They're not going to call it back or anything. And then I've heard, I still think maybe the if you fumble it and you're on like the 1 or you're doing that and you fumble it out the back of the other end zone, that you lose possession and it goes on the 20. I don't know if I necessarily like that rule that much.
I only agree with that rule in this situation because I think fumbling the ball when you're about to step into the end zone is the dumbest thing that you can do as an NFL player. So you deserve to have the ball taken away from your team because of how dumb it is. But Yeah, I saw that too. It's almost like the NBA free path to the basket rule, like where if you're on a fast break and the guy intentionally fouls you, you get like the free throws or something like that.
Yeah,
and they're just like, if you're about to step into the end zone but you fumble it, we'll count it as. I'm like, that's not how this game.
That's like in PGA, like in the PGA. You know, if they're going to give you a gimme shot if you just barely miss it. We'll let you have it. It's fine. If it's under a certain amount of inches, we'll let you have it. Like that's essentially what that is. And no, that's dumb. But anyway, I that's my big dummy of the moment because it's just stupid. I can't believe a player of the caliber of Jonathan Taylor did that too. Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. My big dummy for this week. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Teisha.
No, I was just gonna say I don't really have anything to chime in because I completely agree with you guys. That was terrible. Because they teach you how to like hold the football in Pee-wee football. It's pretty much like 101, hang on to the ball. So yeah, that was entertaining. I'm just glad it wasn't my team.
Since you're 5 years old, the whole goal of the thing is to get the ball into the end zone. Why are you not getting the ball into the end zone, especially when there's nobody around you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, drives me nuts.
Yeah.
But my big dummy for this week is we talked. I almost buried the lead because I think Dan Campbell is my big dummy of the week this week for that onside kick with 12 minutes left in the game, and with the new onside kick rules, you're not surprising anybody anymore because you have to announce that it's an onside kick. So you do the onside kick. Mac Hollins catches it and runs it down to the 5-yard line. And, that's within the next 3 seconds, the Bills have scored another touchdown. I get he likes to be aggressive. He likes, going for it on fourth and whatever. And, always choosing what seems to be like the riskier or tougher play. And that's kind of his MO. But I don't know. I don't see how that's good in that situation. You're showing complete non-trust in your defense. Like you're essentially saying to your team, we know we can't stop the Buffalo Bills, so we got to get the ball back here if we want to have a chance. And you just hurting your team at that point.
Yeah. Yep. I agree, especially now with the rules the way they are.
I hate the kickoff rules. I hate the kickoff rules. It looks dumb. It hasn't really made an impact on anything. It's not like we're getting more kickoff return touchdowns or anything like that because everyone's still just kicking it out of the back of the end zone anyways. Right. And now you have to announce that you're doing an onside kick. Like, remember how awesome that onside kick to start the second half of the Super Bowl was when the Saints did it? Yep. We'll never get moments like that again until they change the kickoff rules back.
Yep, it's dumb,
and that bothers me.
As it should.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm happy that he did it because that kind of helped seal the victory. Helped seal the victory for the Bills. So I guess I can't complain too much about it. But yeah, I couldn't believe it when I saw them lining up for it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is a move that if Sean McDermott did, I would be hollering to fire Sean McDermott. Which I already do anyways. But anyways, that's besides the fact. Okay, up for the next segment is notes from around the league. We kind of touched on it a little bit already. The Falcons benching Kirk Cousins. After a win, getting benched is crazy work. But what do you think? What do you think of Michael Penix? I mean, he was pretty good in Washington last year, and but how much of that is having the weapons that he had there versus what he has in Atlanta? And do you see him being able to adjust and be successful in the NFL?
Yeah, this is kind of what they were hoping for anyway. Atlanta was. I mean, I know they paid Kirk Cousins money, but ultimately the job is Michael Penix's job. Like they probably didn't want to do it this way, but ultimately they wanted him. And I mean, they got 14 weeks under of him. just sitting back, watching the game and watching it. So if anything, it kind of probably helped him to sit back for those weeks. Not to mention he's coming off of an injury, a pretty bad injury. So I guess it just depends on how much he trusts himself, coming back from that injury. I think he's talented, and I do think Penix, he'll play well. He has weapons around him. That's the crazy part. I mean, he's got, Drake London and Bijan Robinson, and as much as I still can't believe that his name is escaping me now. That's how irrelevant he is. Kyle Pitts, yeah. It's amazing to me that his talent level, that he hasn't shown up, even with Kirk Cousins at quarterback. So maybe, who knows? Maybe Penix is the guy that can get him the ball. Maybe he's the problem. Maybe he can't get open. I don't know. But I do think Penix plays well. I don't know what he'll do the rest of the season, but anyway, Teisha, what do you think?
Yeah.
Well, I don't really have a whole lot to add, but where I stand on Kirk, so a little bit heartbroken, but it is what it is. That's football. I feel bad for him.
If you were Teisha, if you were Atlanta, would you just cut Kirk Cousins now? Or not now, but in the offseason, if depending on how Penix plays, if you're going to have to pay him $25 million or whatever it is to buy him out or whatever and eat the dead cap space, but is that a move that you would do?
So yeah, I would say cut your losses.
Yeah, I see that happening for sure.
Yeah. Bigger question: do you see Cousins starting as a quarterback next season somewhere else?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he's got to be better than Anthony Richardson in Indianapolis. I feel like there's a couple teams that are unsure of their quarterback. What's going to happen in Seattle with Geno Smith. Stuff like that where he could find a landing spot.
Cleveland,
but yeah, Cleveland depend. Well, they're kind of on the hook for Deshaun Watson to be their starter for the next however long.
They could afford it. Maybe Minnesota if they decide goes back to Minnesota if Darnold.
Yeah, because Darnold will be on the way out for sure. Darnold's looking for a big contract. Yeah.
Yep.
Something happened there. Something happened there, in my opinion, because I'm a true believer in bro code, the locker room vibe. I just don't know. I think he just lost his fire. It's not his spark isn't there like it has been in previous years. When he's dancing around on the plane with all his chains and he's having that. Yeah. That's not fair. And that's not fair. Meshing, if you're not clicking with a family, then or as a team, then it really hinders you. It hurts.
Yeah.
I agree with. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. We haven't seen the you like that side of Kirk Cousins in Atlanta. Maybe that's coming off the injury, or maybe he just is moving to a new city and not the same vibe as what he's had before. But definitely something seems off with him.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Alrighty. So now here's the next one, Teisha. This one's for you. Which situation has you the most concerned about your team?
Well, this one's pretty obvious. It's has to do with the little thing called a high ankle sprain. The injury. I don't really know how. Of course, I'm nervous. I mean, if you're a fan at all and you're not, biting your nails, oh my gosh, how's it going to go? Give me an update. And that's one thing one of the only things I hate about our team is, I check the injuries, check them. And they all wait until the very last moment, the very last second to update. And that bothers me. But I mean, I get it. But I think it's going to be okay. Whether we set him or we play him, I'm team, and this is an unpopular opinion, but I'm team let him set out. I mean, he's got another game coming up in just a few days. I think that, but I don't know if that would hurt or hinder if he is willing to play. If that kills his momentum, if that kills his, the mojo, the fire, if that could actually, if he's ready to go and he doesn't play, I think that could be harmful as well. I just hope he listens to his body and doesn't overdo it. Oh, that's what scares me right now.
Yeah. I think if I was a Chiefs fan, I'd be more concerned about the offensive line, because if you have Patrick Mahomes trying to play at not 100% and he's, the offensive line is having struggles blocking people, and now you're forcing him to run a little bit and, put a little bit more work on that ankle than he is feeling comfortable doing, and then you end up hurting him for a little bit longer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's gonna eat some grass if he does play. So you have to keep that in mind. It's a tough team.
Bryan, what do you got? Or are you guys just kind of done with the season? And
yeah, man,
like Bills fans in past years, nothing affects you anymore.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much where we're at, man. It's the whole situation. The whole situation got me concerned. Everything, like, tanks you. I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
How about you, Ben? What situation has you most concerned with your number one Bills over there?
I would say, our defense, like our defensive side of the ball in general. We're not good at stopping the run. We give up lots of rushing yards. I know the bulk rushing yards isn't, the be all end all stat, but good teams, if you let a good team run the ball all over you, it's hard to win in the playoffs. And I mean, we, against the Rams and against the Lions, we let the other quarterback just throw the ball all over the field. And, that's the only reason why we lost to the Rams was because of the defense. And the only reason why the game was close against the Lions was because we let them, throw the ball again all over us. Wherever Goff wanted to throw the ball to, he was fine. So we have an issue. We have an issue rushing the passer. We have an issue getting pressure on the quarterback. We have an issue stopping the run, and we have issues stopping the pass. So all in all, it's not really that good. The only thing our defense does good is create turnovers. So that's kind of been a saving grace for us. We are, and in the red zone as a defense, we're better. We're definitely a bend but don't break kind of defense. But if I was to give a concern, I don't have any concerns on the offensive side of the ball. As long as we got 17 back there, I think we're all right. But yeah, all the concerns are pretty much on the defensive side of the ball.
So, sounds about right.
Next up, MVP. I'll go last because I know my takes on this, and I've been battling all day on this subject. But what do you guys have? Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley kind of seem to be the three front runners. Is there somebody else that a dark horse pick, or where do you guys see it at?
You going first, Bryan?
You go first.
Okay, well, this is super out of left field, but I'm gonna go ahead and just say Taylor Swift. She's really improved. I can help it.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter what you were gonna say. I was gonna play it anyway because I knew it was gonna be at least a team. I thought you were gonna say Patrick Mahomes, and I was gonna do it anyway.
No. I got jokes every now and then.
Yeah, now we need to mute you for that. The Taylor Swift, man, that's just wrong, man. All right.
She has played in a million stadiums, and they all sell out. So I'm just saying, there's that.
Fair enough. Oh well, Ben, I've kind of jumped on the train. I think what Josh Allen's doing is incredible, and I think that he deserves to be in the front runner for MVP. Like, there's just things he's doing that he's setting records. I mean, on the best team in the AFC right now. Like, I mean, I get Lamar Jackson is doing well, and he's been MVP before. I think you're going to get – as long as Josh Allen continues to win and continues to do what he's doing, and even if Lamar Jackson does really well, they're going to look at that and see the fatigue of Lamar Jackson winning these MVPs and Josh Allen never winning an MVP. And they're going to go with Lamar. They're going to go with Josh Allen. I mean, it's that simple, especially if they keep winning. Saquon, as long as there's a good quarterback that's dominating, that's playing really well, a running back's not going to win it. As much as we want it to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be nice. Yeah, it would be nice.
I could see Saquon winning Offensive Player of the Year. I think that's possible. But my thing is that now that you have two quarterbacks that are probably in the lead for this, and so it's either, if Josh Allen wins MVP, Lamar Jackson probably wins, Offensive Player of the Year. It's probably what's going to happen. But then again, I don't know. I mean, I was going to say Baker Mayfield should win MVP, especially if he gets his team in the playoffs and he didn't have his receivers for half the season.
No chance.
Oh,
See,
got me.
Like,
Got me.
Yeah. No, I think if we're giving it to a quarterback, then which is what the MVP award is essentially just a quarterback award, then I think it has to go to Josh Allen this year. He's going to set a record of it'll be his 5th consecutive season scoring 40 touchdowns or more. And like the best quarterbacks in the history of the league have only done it 3 times, and none of them have done it consecutively. And this will be 5 years in a row of 40 plus touchdowns for him. We saw against the Rams, a 6 touchdown game is craziness. And then to follow it up with a 5 touchdown game against the best team in the NFC, we've knocked off the best team in the AFC in the Kansas City Chiefs. Then we went and beat San Francisco, and then we beat the Detroit Lions. And as the season goes on, you kind of just like, okay, Josh Allen is kind of just being like the most dominant player that's in the league right now. Ultimately, I would love to see it go to a Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, somebody other than a quarterback. That's my goal. That's my dream, is to see a non-quarterback win the MVP. But I just don't see that happening. And I think if we're just giving it to the best quarterback, then I think it has to go to Allen.
Yeah, and I was on that boat I was on that boat early on in the season of like, I want it to go to running back as well, either Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley. But at this point in the season, it's clear and evident, that Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are leading the race, and I think Josh Allen's leading Lamar by a considerable amount, in my opinion. I think he's running away with MVP at this moment.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna want to save this clip here real quick, because unfortunately, you're right. And I shall never say that. One and done. Save that. You'll need that receipt, I'm sure, later. Oh goodness, that hurt.
Hey, this next topic, can we just move on past it? We already know the answer to this question.
Which team needs home field advantage in first round by the most?
It's the Chiefs. They have to. They need that first round. They need the home field advantage. Like, if
We
they
really
go
do.
anywhere else in the playoffs, I think they get outed in the first round or whatever, and they're gonna have a bye. Well, actually, the first
geez,
team
confidence.
gets a bye. I think that's true. I think that happens. So, but they definitely need the home field advantage, I think.
Yeah, I completely
Yeah.
agree. I mean, is it a shocker? That's what I was going to say, or no?
No, I'm not shocked at all. Not shocked.
I think I would say, yeah, I think the Chiefs for sure need the home field advantage. But I think overall, I think number one, I would say Detroit needs the home field advantage of playing in the dome. I don't know how well that team would travel into Philadelphia and play in a snow game, or travel to any of these other places that if they were to play somewhere that is an outdoor and deal with the conditions of a January game. I don't know how well they would look doing that.
Yeah, no, they definitely on the NFC side definitely need it. I mean, they need it more than Philadelphia needs it.
Yeah, 100%. I always feel that way too. If your home team is a dome, it's easier for an outdoor cold team to go into a dome and play well than it is for a dome team to come outside in the snow and play well.
What's crazy is like literally 1, 2, and 3 are all 12-2 right now. So we're not even talking about Minnesota. Minnesota has a chance to have, home field advantage just as well. Like they're right now, they're third out of those 3 from tiebreakers somehow. So like they would need both teams to lose or one team. I don't know who they must have lost to both of them or something. But
Minnesota to me is a scary team. They kind of have that like Cinderella vibe, just like a magical, unexpected kind of season. And they're a team that would scare me. Just getting lucky. They'll mess around and go win a road game in Philadelphia in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like just kind of have that kind of feel about them.
Yep, I agree.
All right, next up, Teisha. Name a team whose playoff contending window has closed.
Don't pick me first. I want to know what you guys think. All of them that are us. Anybody we play next? No, I'm just kidding.
I like. Okay, so technically, so this question is for teams that are technically still in the race, but ultimately their window's closed, right?
I would think so. Yeah.
I would think that's what that is.
Yeah.
I want to say the Falcons just because they're going to a backup quarterback already. If they lose this next game, which it is against the Giants, so I mean, chances that they lose are probably not, probably slim anyway. But if they do happen to lose to the Giants, then they only have like a 10% chance, of making the playoffs at that point. And even if they do win it, they're only like a 39% chance. So it's really not. I feel like just having to go to a backup quarterback this late in the season is pretty much detrimental. And then I don't know what is yours, because I have another one that I think is.
I was going to say mine was like a team that's not in the playoffs right now, but their chances of making the playoffs are gone. So for me, I said the Cincinnati Bengals because they just got off to too slow of a start this season. They're not in the playoffs now. There's 3 games left in the season, and they're 2 games back. So they need to be pretty. Yeah. They need a lot of things to go their way in order to make the playoffs. So I think their window is closed.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like they're even if they win, their chance of making the playoffs is only 7%. So that tells you how far back they are with being in the North.
Exactly.
So it's not good.
Win a game.
What's crazy is like the other 6 and 8 teams have a better chance if they win. They have a much better chance. Well, I say much better, not much better. They have an 11% chance. The Dolphins. I was gonna say the Dolphins are done. They're just not gelling, man. They got all the weapons still, and they just still are, for whatever reason, are not. It's almost like the league caught up to Mike McDaniel and what he was doing offensively, and everyone has adjusted to it. And that's what it looks like. Because Tyreek does not look himself. I don't know if he's hobbled, he's got some injury or what, but he doesn't look himself.
And if we want to talk about coaches on the hot seat, I think Mike McDaniel is kind of tops on that list up there with the Doug Petersons of the league for sure. I think the whole thing is kind of run its course.
Tell me how the 49ers, Cowboys, and Saints are all still alive. That's what I want to know. How are they all still alive? Like the Saints are 5-9. They're 5-9 with 3 games left, and they're still alive technically, statistically.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, I don't think that division is that'd be their only way, right? Is to win the division.
Yeah, because the Bucks are the division leader right now, and they're 8-6. So technically, I guess the Saints hold the tiebreaker against the Bucks. It's the only way that they could. Because they'd have to come back up, and either that or they hold the tiebreaker.
Yeah, they would need to win out, and the Bucks would need to lose out, and then Saints would have the tiebreaker, and then that's really the only way.
Well, and then you have the Falcons in there too, so I don't even know in that same division. Because if they ended up winning 1 and losing 2, they'd be the same record too. It doesn't matter because the Buccaneers are not. They're going to win that division. They finally got Mike Evans back, and you could tell a big difference last week. They're going to win that division. They played Dallas this week. It's over. It's over for Dallas. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Mike Evans going to get another 1,000-yard season, and it's going to be
and
he
crazy. Got hurt
crazy.
Year. And he got hurt this year, and he's still going to get it. That dude is a freak.
Yeah,
and he doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah. No, anytime anyone mentions like underrated wide receivers, it's Mike Evans every time. Every time.
Single time. Yep.
And I think he had Johnny Football as a quarterback in high school, in college.
Yeah, right. Johnny Football.
Alrighty, guys. Look ahead to Week 16. Texans at Chiefs. Teisha, what do you think?
Honestly, I was going to say Chiefs by 1 million because that's what I always say, but I think we'll take it. I don't think it's. I think it's going to be another close game. So I think we'll win by like maybe a touchdown, maybe 10, 7, 10, something like that, 7 to 10 points. But I think we're winning. Even if Mahomes is not playing, I'm still gonna hold on, and that might be a 3-point win. But I'm still gonna hold on. It's gonna be a tough game. So I don't know, but I have confidence.
Definitely, like Carson Wentz is not a bad backup to have to go to. You know, he can go out there and win you a game for sure.
Absolutely, I have full confidence. Absolutely.
Bryan, what do you think of that game?
You know, they're in an interesting spot because basically the Texans are all locked up. They locked up the AFC South already, and so. You know, and the Chiefs already obviously locked up the West. So both teams already locked up their spot in the playoffs. And, you know, I mean, the Texans can move up, obviously. They can move up, you know, to 3 and even 2, technically. So I don't think that matters too much in this game. I think the Texans are kind of like they're on like more of a path of they need to get right, you know. I know the Chiefs have been on that all season, but that's just what they're doing this year. That's just their team, right? Like, I think the Texans were playing really well, and I think they need a get-back game, and what would be a better way to do that than to be, you know, upset the 13-1 Chiefs.
So they need something. They need something. They're like, we did. We knocked them off. We did it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. They need that for their team. I think the Texans go into Kansas City and win.
Well, that's a 13 every time they played.
CJ Stroud and my boy Joe Mixon got to play well.
Yeah, no, I don't see Houston winning this game. I don't think it's you know, I just don't see Patrick Mahomes sitting out, and I don't see the Houston Texans being able to outscore the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think it, you know. I think the Chiefs' defense is a top defense in the league, and it's going to be tough for CJ Stroud to really score enough points to. I don't think he's going to go into Arrowhead and outscore Patrick Mahomes in a football game, and so I just think it's going to be the Texans, or sorry, the Chiefs.
Right. I'm gonna eat serious crow if Bryan's right.
Listen. They're still a talented team, and I think a lot of people are underestimating the Texans. So, I don't like them. I hate them. They're in my division.
I agree with that.
So, but I think when you least expect it, that's when it happens. And so, a lot of people are thinking the Texans to win this. So, yeah, it's going to happen.
Next up, we got Patriots coming into Buffalo, and I hate to kind of beat on a team when they're already down, but I don't see a world in which the New England Patriots win this game. I don't think it's going to be particularly close. I think this is another game that will score, 30 plus points. And I don't think the New England Patriots have that in them. They haven't scored 30 points all season. I don't see that starting this week. It's going to be freezing cold in Buffalo. It's going to be real cold. I know both teams are used to that. Both teams play outside and kind of in similar weather, but this just kind of seems like a Buffalo Bills win to me. I don't think the Patriots have enough weapons to compete.
Nope. This will be like a 38-17 game, 38-10, something like that.
I hope you're keeping track because this is like the 13th time I've said, no, yeah, you're right. Oh my gosh, this is brutal.
She said it a lot. So when Willie was doing this, she never agreed ever with him. So,
that's what I said. This is
odd,
brutal.
Really odd.
Tearing you down, man. I just can't do it. No, I think you're absolutely right.
If there was ever a week that I wished we had all of us all together, it was this one, because we've got Leslie's Patriots going against your Bills, and then we've got my struggling Jags versus Willie's Raiders in the Tankathon, the Tank Bowl, like
the battle of the basement. Battle of the basement.
It will be such a fun game to watch to see who could suck better. Like who's better at it? Who really wants to lose?
That.
Like
we
somebody
should bet
wants
on
to
who
lose.
sucks worse.
We should. This is a game that me and Willie need to do a bet on because, like, which team's gonna lose? Like that's ultimately what we're doing here. I want to lose.
I think ultimately.
Because it is the Raiders and they want that number 1 pick, and I want to take that from them. So I want to lose on purpose really badly. Not like I don't want to get blown out. I just want to lose really bad.
I think you guys are a bad team who's going to, who can lose games. But I think the Raiders are so bad that they're also bad at being bad, and they're going to randomly win this game.
I never want to play them ever, 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 ever. I don't care if they had a 0 in the season. Yeah. They will come in and randomly just throw down.
They're so bad this year that they're going to be bad at tanking too.
Exactly. Exactly. They're going to go their way. So I think you'll lose this game, Bryan, and move one step closer to getting that first overall pick.
That's right, and you know what?
Or at least have someone have the tiebreaker over you. At least if it came down to it.
Right, and then the Giants are going to somehow beat the Falcons since they have a backup quarterback play. The Giants are going to win, and then we will be tied. Everybody will be tied with 3 wins. Everybody.
I think you're going to win at being the worst. I think you can do it. I really, really do. I think you guys can pull it off. I really have faith.
Good. I'm glad we have faith there.
Alrighty, guys. Time for the final thoughts. Teisha, you're up first.
I don't really have much more else to share. I mean, I touched pretty much on everything that my heart's desire needed to say, but I don't know. It's going to be an exciting week coming up because, like I said, we have 2 games so close together. And playing on Saturday is crazy. It's weird, but it is what it is. Got to do what you got to do for the ratings, I guess. But that's about it. Bryan, hope you lose. Sorry, and also Ben, and I hope you also lose. I'm just kidding. You're not going to lose. You guys are going to be fine. It'll be blowout.
It would be very much like the Buffalo Bills to lose a game to one of the worst teams in the league. That is very much our style.
I know exactly how that feels. Yeah, I know exactly how that feels. I am a Chiefs fan, so trust me, I get it.
We have a really bad tendency to play down to the level of our opponent and not just I mean, it has changed a little bit this year, but in years past, it was we almost lost to the Giants last year. We ended up losing a game to the Patriots last year. I can definitely see a world in which we lose one of these next 2 games to the Patriots or the other one to the Jets. I could definitely see that happening, but not this week. I just need it to be not this week.
No, I think you're okay. And I trust me.
If it is, I'm going to find a way to get.
I've literally seen games where Mahomes threw more touchdowns to the wrong team. So that's I totally get it. I'm like, dude, wrong color, buddy. No. So I get that. All right, Bryan.
If they do lose to the Patriots, I'm going to find a way to get Leslie on this show. She's got to come on the show to just troll you because she hadn't got to troll anyone this year. So we need. All right. Although it's not going to happen.
So bad.
It's not going to happen. They're tanking too.
Yeah, that's a team that would love to get a Travis Hunter on their team. Get a real weapon for Drake May.
Yeah, if they got Travis Hunter, that'd be dangerous for sure. Yeah. And who knows? But who knows?
I'm so sick. I'm still not over the Brady era. I'm so sick and tired of watching the Patriots be good. As for the next at least 20 years, they need to be the worst team in the league because they were the best team in the league for 20 years. So, we're 4 years into them being one of the worst teams. So let's keep it rolling that way. That is my final thought. Is I still hate the Patriots.
Yes, it's deeply rooted. I don't think you ever come back from that. Right there with you.
My final thought is in memory of Willie. I hate them.
I really, really hate them.
Yeah. Really hate them. Like, it just grows. That hatred just grows every
later tonight before you go to bed with the journals out and just say, I hate the Chiefs. I hate the Chiefs. I hate them. Write it down. Get it out. It's the only way to work through it. You gotta feel it.
It's part of my nightly prayers. It's part of my nightly prayers to just say, bring bad luck to the Chiefs.
Because if there was a clip of him saying it, I would be playing it right now.
I hate them. I can hear it in my head. I hear it sleep. I love it.
Alrighty, guys, I'm out of here. I got to go catch up on some sleep.
Yes.
But you guys have a good week, and I doubt we'll do it next week because I think next Wednesday is Christmas Day. But maybe we'll do it a different day of the week next week.
Yeah, we can push it off to like Thursday or something. We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
we can
for
talk
sure.
about our win. Just different day doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah, whatever day Leslie's.
Hey, you guys have happy holidays to you guys.
Alrighty, guys, we'll see you.